Hi everyone, this is Roxana, and I am doing this video today because I am almost at my 8-week post-op, and I wanted to share some information with you guys. Since my last video, I have really stalled. I haven't lost any more weight. I'm still down 32 pounds. And I'm not going to say I'm disappointed, but it's just a big realization that when you're young, like in your teens and your 20s, it is so much easier to lose weight than when you get to your 30s. And I am 34. You know, you never believe it. You know, they say fertility goes downhill after a certain age, and that weight loss, you know, starts slowing down after 30. But I never really believed it. I mean, I did have the surgery, so I thought, you know, with this tool, it's going to be a snap. It's going to be super easy. And it hasn't been. I mean, it hasn't been hard. I haven't had any issues with, like, the diet or my eating. I feel like I eat well, considering that I only eat vegetables and I, you know, hardly eat carbs. I only do vegetables and fish. I'm not doing red meat. I stay away from pork as much as I can, and when I do eat pork, I only eat like little tidbits. Like let's say I'm out for dinner and I have a hot and sour soup and there's a little bit of pork in there. I'll have it, and it doesn't make me sick. And right now, that's what's dictating my diet. It doesn't make me sick. Does it sit well with my sleeve? I did discover that I could eat some chicken thighs, so that was a great thing for me. Chicken breasts are still a little bit too dry, not because I overcook them or anything, but because they are, you know, naturally a drier piece of meat. So it is easier to digest, you know, the dark meat, and it is more flavorful anyway, so. But the reason for my video is that it is because I am stalled. I mean, I don't want to make anybody think that, you know, this is just a walk in the park, that you're not going to stall, that you're just going to lose all the weight you want without any issues. That's not true. I still think, and I am still proud of the 32 pounds that I have lost. Do I wish I had lost more? Of course I do. Do I, sort of like good envy, or you know what I mean? Do I wish that I was one of those girls that lost 60 pounds in their first 2 months? Hell yeah. Would I want to be at my goal weight, you know, sooner than a year? Of course. But I'm just being realistic. I know stalls are a way of our body adjusting to the changes, and this is a major surgery. Another thing that I also started to notice is my hair. I don't know if I had mentioned this before, but I do have alopecia areata, which means I usually get, you know, bald spots around my head. They're usually round like a quarter. And I used to get steroid injections in my head in the bald spots to promote hair growth. But this time the hair loss is different. It's widespread. I mean, it's not like I'm going bald yet because I do have a lot of hair. But I have started noticing more hair in my brush in the mornings. So I am going to start taking more biotin and maybe using a different shampoo and conditioner that promote hair growth, or that help disguise some of that thinning. I did cut my hair. So now my hair is over my shoulder, as you can see from my ponytail. It is not as long as it used to be. And I did that because I wanted my hair to grow back stronger. And because, you know, if I did have major thinning, I wanted to be able to, you know, do a cool cut or something to disguise that. Another thing that I wanted to share with you is the emotional side of surgery. I have 2 kids, and I love them to pieces. They are my reason for everything. They are the reason I wake up in the mornings. And for a long time, my happiness depended solely on them. And what I mean by that is, if I didn't have my kids for the longest time, if I didn't have my sons, I felt not that there was nothing to fight for, but my life had less meaning. For those of you who don't know, my husband and I battled with infertility for about 5 years. There wasn't a known cause or a reason. We did all the testing. He got his test done. I did my tests, and there was really nothing wrong. But I just couldn't get pregnant. I did take Clomid to overstimulate my ovaries into producing eggs, and I ended up in the hospital. It turns out my body didn't need help producing, releasing an egg to be fertilized. It just wasn't happening. And I lost about 15-20 pounds before I took a vacation in 2008. And then I became pregnant in December of that year. My vacation was in October. I became pregnant in December of 2008. And since then, my life has revolved around my children. I do work. I have a full-time job, and I am also, for those who don't know, an independent travel agent. And I love my business. I love, 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 love my travel business. I mean, who wouldn't? You're part of a trillion-dollar industry. People fly all the time. They take vacations all the time. And I love helping them plan them. So it was just natural that I would go into this line of work. And now that I'm doing it for myself, it's even better. But anyway, I worked and I went home to my kids. And I loved it. But my kids became the center of my life. And I feel that's fabulous when you're a mom, to have that goal, to have that little core and make your family the reason for everything. I think that's amazing. But I also lost myself. And I don't mean to sound cliche, but it's true. There was a point in 2010 after Nicolas was born. Well, it started before when I had Santiago. But I had a new baby and I was thrilled. I mean, he was the cutest thing, smart as a button. He knew how to do everything. And I loved having a baby. I loved having a baby to dote on. And then when I got pregnant with Nico, which was a total surprise because Santiago was less than 3 months old when I became pregnant. They're only 11 months apart. I started to notice that I didn't feel important for myself. I felt important because I had them. I felt that, I don't know, that I had become mom and stopped being Roxana, the individual. I also started to hide. And when I say hide, it's not like I would, hide in my house with the windows shut and things like that. But like I mentioned in an earlier video, I became less social. And one of the reasons for that was I had started gaining weight. I never lost all my baby weight because I got pregnant so fast the second time. And then I just never lost it. And when I looked in the mirror, I didn't see myself. I saw someone that I didn't like. And aside from the mirror, I wasn't happy. I mean, my kids brought a whole lot of joy to my life and a whole lot of work and responsibility that I cherished. But when I wasn't doing things with my kids or talking about my kids, I wasn't happy. I stopped doing my makeup. I stopped dressing up. I could care less about what I wore. I was very depressed. At the time, I didn't think it was depression. I just thought, well, it's a phase. every woman must go through this, you know, what we all, you know, or most of us say and do. I would go to work. I tried to be very productive at work. I loved going to work. I had great friends at work. But I just didn't like anything other than that. And I have noticed that now, well, in 2014, we moved to Florida. And we were alone here. Well, my sister lived an hour or so away. But we were alone in the area we live, in West Palm Beach. And everything was centered again around my kids. So I didn't have my friends anymore. So I couldn't go out for drinks on Wednesdays like we usually did. We couldn't hang out as much. So I was again doing everything was family-centered, family-centered, family-centered. I decided to start researching bariatric surgery. And I had the surgery, like you know, in August. Since then, like I mentioned 100 times, I've lost 32, 33 pounds. And what I'm trying to get to is that I'm not at my goal. I don't look like I want to look. But when I look at myself in the mirror now, I see some of the sparkle that I feel I lost through the years. I'm not saying I lost my sparkle when I had my kids. That's not what I'm saying. I just feel that I allowed myself to disappear. No one can take your power away from you if you don't allow them to. And I allowed my power to be taken away from me. I stopped fighting for the things I believed in. I stopped being vocal about a lot of things. And I don't like it. And now that I am starting to, you know, that I'm going through this journey, that I'm starting to go back and see myself in the mirror like I used to see myself before, I realize I lost a lot of time. And the time you lose is not something, it's not something you can gain back. But I do believe that 35 for me will be the beginning of a new life. It's going to be the second chapter in my life. I will be 35 in a couple months. My birthday's on Christmas Day. And for the first time, I'm not scared about being 35. I'm not scared about what's going to happen in 2018. I'm actually looking forward to it. I'm excited again. And starting my own travel business also makes me very excited. Helping people excites me. Raising my voice and letting my opinions be known and heard also excites me. Helping others. So I feel that having surgery not only has started to change my body, it has also started to change me. It has allowed me to feel more confident and feel like there's nothing I can't do. Of course, I'm not going to go climb Mount Everest or Mount Kilimanjaro tomorrow because I'm not physically capable of that yet. But I am probably more confident now to do these videos and to once again wear makeup and not care what people in the store think or say about me. For the longest time, I stopped doing my makeup. And mind you, I never did my makeup for others. I just stopped doing it because I didn't want to be noticed. And right now, I don't care if people notice me or not. This is my journey. I am doing this for me. I am doing this for my kids. And as long as I'm happy and they're proud of me, everything else is just fluff. I have always been a very spiritual person. I was raised in a Catholic family, but my beliefs have changed through the years. I mean, I'm not going to say I'm not Catholic, but I just know there's a higher power. There's something bigger out there, something that I believe in. And I believe in energy, and I believe in doing good actions and throwing, you know, good actions out into the universe so that you can receive good in return. I believe in that. I believe that being nice to people and doing good and being kind is a great service. I also believe that we should always let our opinions be known, regardless of what others think about them. We're not in a day and age where we can just stay silent and let others speak for us when what they're saying doesn't equal what is in our hearts. We're going through very difficult times. I mean, you know, natural disasters like the earthquake in Mexico, Hurricane Harvey, Irma, Maria, the massacre in Las Vegas. There are so many things going around in the world and happening around the world that it just makes me realize that time is precious. And I am in a journey that is going to not only affect me, but it's also going to affect my future. And if we don't start taking the necessary steps today to preserve our future and to make sure that we have a good life in the future, we're just wasting our time and we're wasting our lives. I don't think we were put on this earth by whoever it was that sent us here. And I don't think we were put on this earth to just wake up, eat, and work. We have a bigger task. There has to be a deeper meaning or a higher purpose for our presence here. And each of us have our own journey. And that's my point. Your journey is not going to be the same as mine. I'm not going to compare my journey to anybody else's. I mean, I will look at their journey. I will use it as motivation, as fuel to get where I want to be. But I won't let my fear stop me. I won't let my fear of what other people think deter me from living my life. I no longer care if I go out and people talk about me. I remember in 2008, I went to Argentina, to Mar del Plata, to see my husband's family, and there was a clown in the street. And he was making jokes. And as I walked by, he called me a fat lady. And I was really, really, really angry. I wasn't just angry because he had called me fat, because in all honesty, I was fat. I was angry because I was being disrespected and because he had embarrassed me in front of a group of people that I didn't know. Now that I think about it, I never knew those people. They didn't know who I was. They didn't know what was in my heart. They could care less. But I lost it. I argued back. I called him all sorts of things. I said he had no talent because he had to, if he had to resort to offending people and pointing out their flaws and their problems in order to make a joke, he had no skill. Mind you, I still believe that. But why was I giving him that much power? Why give others so much importance? I feel like I went on a tangent and lost what the reason for my video was. But again, it's my journey. It's my video. And I'm speaking to you from the heart. This is not rehearsed at all. I'm just, looking into a camera and talking. I am happy with where I'm at. I am going to continue working towards my goal. I am going to get somewhere. I'm going to do what I intend to do. I am going to grow my business. I am going to be happy. I'm going to make my kids proud of me. And even if it takes me a year, even if it takes me 18 months, 24, 36, however long it takes, it's my journey. So just keep that in mind. Live your life. Don't let others embarrass you. Don't allow others to take your power away from you. Don't let others disrespect you. The only person that can disrespect you is yourself. Another thing is, thank you everybody for your thoughts, your well wishes, and your prayers for Puerto Rico and for my journey. I am very grateful for your messages and for your encouragement. Puerto Rico is going through very tough times. There's a lot of need. So if it isn't within your hands and your power to help others, feel free to reach out to me, and I will make sure that your donations get to the people that need them most. My family's doing okay within, you know, the circumstances. My grandfather is here in Florida, and so is my aunt. So that, you know, eases my mind a little bit. My kids are thrilled to have them here. I am very happy they're here too. Fall is here, so it's supposed to be cooler soon. I can't wait for Christmas. I can't wait for what's to come. And I don't know. That's my update for this week 7.5-ish towards week 8. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. Take care.